What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Real Deal on Real Estate podcast show. We are here to uncover all the secrets about real estate investing so you can buy your first or your next real estate investment property. Whether you're a beginner real estate investor or a seasoned real estate investor, you are going to be provided with a lot of value from this podcast show, and we're going to be uncovering a lot of exciting topics about where to invest currently in the real estate market. So let's jump. Hello and welcome, everybody. This is episode 2 of my new podcast called The Real Deal on Real Estate. Once again, I am your host, Kevin Bratch, and the podcast is called The Real Deal on Real Estate. What we're going to be getting into today is market crashes, what's happening, and what causes market crashes, and is there opportunity in the crash? So, basically, when I got started in real estate, I got licensed back in 2006, and that was leading up to the massive crash in 2008, and it was one of the biggest housing market crashes that has almost ever been seen. Like the amount of the amount of properties that went under, the amount of people that lost their homes, especially in the U.S., was absolutely devastating. It was a big banking debacle in terms of the ninja loans that they were giving out, and why they're called ninja loans. It was no income, no job. Basically, and that's how you're able to apply to get these loans. And basically, they're giving out these loans left, right, and center to people that could not qualify otherwise, and they were able to obtain property. So it was a wild time, and a lot of people were picking up properties that definitely couldn't qualify for them. So what happened was, as payments went up, or they had to make payments and they didn't have renters in or whatever to cover the costs, they started defaulting on their properties. And it wasn't just one; it was a trigger of a massive amount of defaults that triggered the housing crash. And this happens a lot in real estate. Especially, you could kind of see some of the signs right now. Interest rates are at all-time high. Inflation is starting to settle down a bit, but it was very high. If you look around, the price of things are insane. With the price of the interest rates going up and the price of real estate being high, which just means the amount of rent is a lot higher. What I foresee, and a lot of real estate experts are seeing, is there's going to be definitely a correction. We're already seeing it on a lot of properties right now. People, like, basically rents aren't covering mortgage costs, and a lot of the guys that are doing Airbnbs and things like that are getting hit pretty hard, because basically we're in a recession, and the government hasn't necessarily announced it, but the writing's on the wall, and it's just a matter of time before a lot of things start hitting, resulting in some massive, I wouldn't say massive defaults, but we'll see what happens. Nobody knows what the extent of this crash will be. Some experts are saying it's going to be worse than 2008. Some people are saying, oh, it's not going to be that bad at all. And some people are like, well, you're not sure what's going to happen. But the way kind of I see things, with interest rates going up where they are, like on the U.S. side, you can do these longer term mortgages, these 30-year lock-ins, but in Canada, you can't do that. The longest you can do is 5 years. So there's a lot of mortgage payments that have literally doubled, tripled, and possibly even quadrupling in these next coming months and years that are coming up for renewal. So there's a lot of sticker shock that's happening, and at the same time, values are starting to come down because there's not that many buyers that can qualify to buy these types of properties. So there's a lot of different pressures that are hitting the market right now, which is going to result in a lot of defaults and a lot of things happening. But I've got a fantastic quote here from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad. And Rich Dad says, basically, a big secret is that true investors make more money in bad markets. They make their money because the non-investors are panicking and selling when they should be buying. So essentially, it's a take on what happens in down markets. When down markets happen, people are panicking and try to liquidate and basically get whatever they possibly can. And investors are there to scoop up. This happens in any type of market. That happens in stock markets, the real estate markets, crypto. It's happening in all sorts of different markets. And what we're seeing right now in the real estate market is people that bought at the wrong time, they're hurting, and they're looking to liquidate. And if they're looking to liquidate, you're going to be able to find some fantastic opportunities in the market space right now that would, that'd be a great time to be buying and picking up some of these deals. So the question is, like, how do you find these types of properties? Where are these types of deals? And the short answer is there's a deal literally every day that happens that is like the deal of a lifetime that a lot of people talk about. Being in the space and just networking with other realtors, networking with other real estate investors, networking with some of these the big real estate investing gurus that some might call them. Everybody knows that if you're in it and you're always looking, you're gonna find a fantastic deal, because there's always something that's happening. Someone that probably, like, I don't know, has to move right away. They got a job in a different area, so they have to sell their property right away. Someone that inherited a property and doesn't want to pay all these taxes or can't afford it, that just looking to liquidate and get their money out as fast as possible. Someone that entering foreclosure, and then all of a sudden with hit by this, and they're like, okay, we got to sell the property as soon as possible without letting it go to eviction and get evicted. So a lot of these types of deals where you're going to be able to pick up properties below market value are the off market types of deals in the pre-foreclosure, foreclosure space, and some of these areas where you can find these off-market deals. Majority of the deals that hit the market, it's tough to find a good deal to make some money in the market space, because that's basically come out to the public, and that's when competition comes in, and there's going to be a lot of people bidding on that certain property, and that can drive the price up. So if you're looking for a fantastic deal, looking off market is the best thing to kind of do. And finding those golden properties is what the deal with real estate is when you're able to find these deals. It's what everybody refers to as the deal of a lifetime, or this person's always really lucky and always able to find these fantastic deals. No, it's not necessarily luck. It's a matter of actually knowing where to look, knowing how to find these types of properties, and just being around certain networks and certain people that know where and how to find these types of properties. And I deal with real estate investors, and I teach students right now how to find pre-foreclosure and foreclosure properties, and where the market is heading right now with the pressures of the interest rates and inflation and things like that. There are a lot of deals that are on the market right now as we speak. I'm actively investing in real estate myself right now. I'm actively looking for deals right now myself with my group of investors, and my students that I teach are actively looking for deals. So when you're always in the space and you're always looking, and it's kind of like how that story goes, like, if you're gonna buy a certain car, and here's your dream car. Let's say your dream car is a Ford pickup F-150, right? You're like, all right, this is my car. I really want it. When you buy that certain vehicle and you're driving it, you're gonna start noticing that vehicle like everywhere, because your sensors are up and you're able to see and find that vehicle. And what's happening is, like, you're able to look out and notice the vehicle because you either bought it or that was something that you wanted to buy. So you're always constantly looking. And then the same thing goes for real estate as well. Looking for real estate investment deals. If you are excited about real estate and want to invest in real estate, and you're sitting at a coffee shop having a cup of coffee, and somebody 2 tables over is talking about real estate or a deal or something, you're going to be able to hear that conversation. Your ears going to perk up, and you're going to be like, oh, wait, oh, that's interesting, because you're in tune with that type of space. So whatever you're into, whatever it may be, you're going to be able to like sort out all the other noise and focus in on what you're after. So if you're looking for real estate deals, you need to be networking, talking to people that are in it, constantly looking for deals, because this isn't just a one-off thing. You're not going to start picking this up one day and all of a sudden you'll find a fantastic deal. No, it's something that you're going to have to dedicate yourself to, look hard and focus in, because once you focus in and figure this game out, you'll be able to find these deals over and over and over. And that's the fantastic part about real estate investing, and it's exciting. So some of the matrix of real estate investing kind of starts like this. If you don't have very much money, the best thing to do is wholesale. Basically, what wholesaling is in a nutshell is, if you're able to find a property and there's some profit in the property. For example, let's say you find a property for $450,000 and the market value is $500,000. Now, the reason you're able to get the property for $450,000 is because of everything we just spoke about earlier in the podcast. Is, the market conditions, somebody inherited the property, it's in pre-foreclosure, whatever it may be, you were able to get the property for a discount. So let's just agree you're able to get properties for a discount. So now what you're going to do is, you have this property for $450,000. What wholesaling is you could find an investor that would be willing to pay you, let's say, $470. And because the market value is 500, they're like, okay, well, we need some meat on the bone too, still to do something and do some upgrades or whatever it may be, so they can make a profit. So they would say they'll give you $20,000 for the contract, which is just the contract of the property. And they'll assume the contract and take it over. And what you got is basically a $20,000 fee for finding the property. And so that's kind of wholesaling in a nutshell. And then with wholesaling, you don't need any money or very little money to get started. So that's the exciting part about wholesaling. And then if you look at the next part of the quadrant, it's basically fixing and flipping. Fixing and flipping is, when you buy a property and you fix it up, you put some paintwork into it, you clean up the property, whatever it may be, and you flip it out. Now, the exciting thing about fixing and flipping is the fact that a lot of people do not want to do rehabs, do not want to do renos. They do not want to do some of this work themselves. So people will pay more on the retail side for something that's completely done and buy it off somebody that's willing to put in the work themselves. Reason being is because some people are either too busy. For example, if someone's busy in their job, working at, let's say, a tech company, at Facebook or something like that, they don't have the time to go and put the paint in and change the appliances or retile the floor and things like that. So, but they're making a good income, working at their job. So when they find these properties, they're willing to pay the extra money to someone that actually put in the work. So that's the exciting thing about fixing and flipping, is when you find a property and you're willing to put in the work, you will find somebody on the other end that you can flip it to. And then you get into creative deals where lease options, wraps, subject to, and carrybacks. Some of these would be like a lease option is like a rent to own. If you're putting something together with somebody that is renting that eventually wants to buy the property, a carryback, or if the owner wants to give you financing. So for example, some owners have a ton of equity in the property, so they'll actually finance the property for you, so you don't have to qualify for a mortgage. It's called a vendor take back mortgage, or there's definitely different verbiage on wherever you may be in the US or Canada or wherever. But yeah, basically how those creative deals work is you could put together these fantastic deals with the homeowner to put together something that really works really well. So that's the exciting thing about creative deals. And then of course, landlording. Landlording is, you buy these properties, you rent them out, and you just kind of sit. And you just sit and you let the renter basically pay off your mortgage over the course of how many years or whatever it may take. And eventually you'll have a free and clear property. And that's a great way to accumulate wealth and to have, assets that you can pass down to your kids or whatever it may be. Real estate is one of the best and safest ways to invest. We humans need a house. So, we need a house to live in. And that's why real estate is really safe and effective. And landlording is a fantastic way to get involved as well. So these are kind of different areas, and the top tier is like cash, because if you're flipping, you're just getting cash. If you're wholesaling, you're getting cash, and then the bottom tier is looking at like cash flow. Landlording's cash flow, lease options cash flow. If you're doing a vendor take back or a wrap or something like that, you're putting together like some sort of cash flow situation. And that's the exciting thing about real estate. There's a many different ways to get involved, and that's the exciting part. And the thing is, there's always a fantastic deal to be found. Not to say like they can't be found on market. Yes, they can be, but it's a little bit more difficult because there's a lot more competition. But the best deals are always found off market. Me, myself, I specialize in foreclosure properties and pre-foreclosures. That's kind of my specialty, and that's what I teach other people to invest in, because of you can get properties for a discount, and in that discount is where you can make a considerable amount of money in terms of fixing and flipping, wholesaling, whatever it may be that you're looking to do. So that's kind of my arena, and that kind of wraps up episode 2 of the podcast. I just wanted to go through this exciting offer that I'm providing to all you guys that are listening to the podcast. Once again, if you go to www.reistar.com, you could take advantage of this incredible offer that me and my team have put together that is specific for real estate investors to be successful in the pre-foreclosure and foreclosure arena. What you'll get is access to a 14-day free trial to my software called REI Star, which helps you find these incredible off-market deals that we were talking about earlier, pre-foreclosure, foreclosure types properties. And along with the 2-week trial to the software, you're going to get all this other incredible, great stuff, which is some of my marketing material, like the flyers, the door hangers, the things we use that are successful right now that we're using. You're also going to get the pre-foreclosure pitch, where we pitched. You'll have all the information on how to talk to pre-foreclosure people and foreclosure type clients. And then you're going to have all this other incredible information as well: the art of real estate investing, the foreclosure stopper, and foreclosure fortune. So go and get your free package at www.reistar.com. And that wraps up episode 2 of the podcast. And the sun is coming out. It's kind of hitting me right now, but it's a great thing. So if you have any suggestions about the podcast, and if you'd like me to talk about any certain topics, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening to today's show. I hope you really enjoyed today's topic, and hit the subscribe button to this podcast and leave a review. Let me know what you guys love and what you didn't, so I know what to create with future episodes. Also, I am giving away this incredible free gift that has made a lot of other real estate investors successful. This is absolutely free. When you find this link right here below, click on it or open it up in a new browser and claim your free gift at www.reistar.com and get your real estate journey started buying your first or your next real estate investment property.